Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to add a new customer. So in this case it's for the tennis club and we will be adding a new customer to the database. So we come into our home page here. Down the left hand side we want to select the CRM tab. We expand that and because it's going to be a new customer not existing in the database, we can't search for them, so we click on customers and add contact, which will bring up the details record in the database, which we now have to populate with the correct details. In this case we are going to be doing it for Paul McDonald. So Paul McDonald, and we try to get things as correct as we can, even though down the track users can fill this in themselves and I guess they could do what they like, but if we're inputting it we try to get it as correct as possible. So Paul McDonald, name, surname, middle name, email address. So just off screen I've got the spreadsheet which I'm just getting the email address out of. Put in his email address. We'll make the email address the default contact type. Date of birth, so if we have a date of birth for Paul, which is 12/01/51, so 12 is December, no, 12 is January the 12th, 51. We've got to go and find 1951 in the drop down over there, and it's going to be the 12th. And once we select that, it puts it in there. We then expand the additional info here to put in his address. So we go and find his address. Which is 24 Masthead Key in Noosaville, which is 4566. Oh, sorry, that should be QLB 4566. Don't worry about these here, even though it says annual adult, don't worry about that for now. Just ignore all of those, so just put the address in. We can check default there as the main address if we wish, or we can leave it blank. We get into the additional info section. Now this is the important info here. Changes made here will affect the system, so we just need to be careful how this is done. So male is name's Paul, so we assume he's male. Hopefully he collected that info anyway, so we do know he's male. He is a primary member. He's not a secondary member. A secondary member would be, say, under a family membership. The primary member would be the main contact, and secondary member the rest of the family. So in this case, he's a primary member. His customer type is an adult. These fields here really we only need to fill in for a family member or someone with a secondary member. So we can ignore all that. All of this down here in the admin details is also extra information that we can fill in at some point, but we're not going to do right now, and we don't have to do it right now. So really that's all we've done. We've added his name, his email address, his date of birth, his home address, his gender, what type of membership type he is, which is primary, the customer type, what he's bought, what he's applied for. And at that point we can say save. Now the reason we haven't said save and finish is because what we need to do is just add in his telephone number if he has one. So the way to do that is to click on this drop down, just put in his cell phone number, put in your cell phone number. I've decided we're going to put it in without the 0 just to keep it consistent. We'll do that. So you need to save it now, even though we're going to put it in his home phone number if he has one. We need to save that. If we jump down to something else over here without saving, it's going to lose that. So we save it. You'll notification up here to say it's been saved, and we can move on to the next one. So we find the home number, go back to our sheet, and we find that he doesn't have a home number. So that's fine. That means that his record is in and as we want it. We can just say save and finish if we want to be clear that it's all done. Right, so we've added his details into the record, and now what we want to do is, because we know he's paid already, so we want to do two things. We want to create an order for his payment, and after that we want to add him to a couple of subscriptions that'll put him onto a list, a marketing list, and also subscribe him to the paid area of the system, which then that is tied to some of the automation. So we'll need to do that. So the next thing we'll do is the order. So as we can see here, there's currently no order. If Paul had been a member previously and had paid previously, the previous order and all other orders tracked against his name would be visible on this page. So on this page you're going to get a history of all the orders. I'm just going to check something quickly, because that looks like I might have done something wrong there. Yes, I put his name where his surname should be, so just go back and edit that. So we go edit, and we just quickly swap those two things around, and that should be better. So now he's Paul McDonald, that's better. We go back to orders, and we say new order. The order name, we're just going to call it annual adult. That we leave alone. The status, what we want to do is, well, yes, we actually have received payment from Paul, so we're doing an offline payment, so we know we've received the payment, so we mark it as paid. Ignore that. Yes, we want to generate an invoice number, so tick that. Ignore the next one, and ignore the tracking URL, ignore the billing address for now. Ignore the workflow and come straight down to products and select the product that Paul has bought. There's the product, and the description is a annual. Actually, I think it's annual adult 22 price. The price of that is $300. Paul paid, and let's just see the record if Paul got the discount. So Paul didn't get the discount. It seems he paid $300. If he did get the discount, we can apply it here by clicking on that, and you can see the discount is then applied. He didn't, so we'll leave it at $300, and that's it. So all we've done is we've come in and put an order name. We have marked the status as payment received. We've ignored that. We've clicked generate invoice number because we do want an invoice number. We've ignored everything all the way down to products. We've selected the product he's chosen, we've put in a description and the price, and we say save and finish. So that order is now been created. What we want to then do is just register that the payment has been made as an offline payment. So we just open up that section, and we can tell from the spreadsheet that Paul paid cash, so we'll just mark that as cash. We can, if we click on this here, it'll insert the amount from here for us, so we'll go ahead and do that. The payment date, I don't have the exact payment date from the sheet. I was given, so we're just going to put in sometime in December. We'll put the 30th of December 2012, and you could put in a just payment description if that was to help you in any way, if you wanted to, in there. And we click the record offline payment button. So that's now been all recorded. Now what happens is there should actually be a few more buttons that appear once we've done all this. We just need to refresh the page. So I think on a PC it would be F5, or we can just come in the browser and just click the refresh button. And so if we go into orders, you can see there is the order we put in for Paul McDonald, and if we click on the order, we should have now some options up here. So the email option is email me, and me is the person doing this now, the person who's you're logged in as. So if you hit that button, you would get an email with this invoice. Email invoice would be email out to the person, to Paul. You can also print the invoice if that's what you wanted. There's some more actions over here which don't really concern anybody right now. So what we want to do is say, yep, okay, we've created this invoice, and we want to email it out to Paul McDonald. So we just click on email invoice, and that's been sent to Paul. Now the last thing we want to do, so in this customer record, we're dealing with the details, which we add their details. Ignore activity for now, ignore cases for now. Orders, yes, we want the orders. Ignore event bookings, and ignore campaigns received for now. But subscriptions, that's the next one we want to deal with. So we just come in here, and because we're doing this as an offline payment and manually, we have to manually do this. If Paul had paid online via PayPal, this would have all been done automatically, but he hasn't. He's paid cash, so we have to come in and update this. So this is for the marketing campaigns, all online members subscriptions automated, so we check that. Ignore the rest. And we need to subscribe Paul to a secure zone. In this case, we are just going to subscribe him to the members paid one, just to put him onto that members paid list. So we check members paid, and then what we need to do, so again, this is something that's handled automatically if it's done if it's bought online and through PayPal. In this case, we need to just set the expiry date. So seeing as that we don't know exactly when Paul bought his membership, we are just going to make it for the 1st of January 2014. So we're going to select 2014 and the 1st of January, and that is now the expiry for his year's membership. And so we have set all of that. We ignore wholesaler, we ignore all of this here, ignore affiliate program, and click save. And that's it. Paul is now in the system. We've now generated an order for him, and we've now subscribed him to the marketing list, and we've also subscribed him to the Secure Zone members paid list, which we need to do. And that's it. That's it for adding a new customer.